So as you all know, the Xbox One S is coming. I went in depth with it a few weeks ago talking about all the different features, but I did want to give you kind of like a public service announcement, kind of warn you before you go buy this or go buy a TV. So a couple of the biggest features about the Xbox One S is, of course, the 4K content and the fact that it supports HDR, high dynamic range. And some people have been confused, thinking that HDR just means that it's going to have a better looking picture. And I mean, that is true to an extent. You will have a better looking picture so long as your TV supports HDR. You have to have a TV that has this capability built into it. And so you just can't take like an old 2010 TV and expect to see a big difference. But before you run off and go buy a new TV, there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind. So first off, 4K still in its infancy, so don't expect to see a ton of content to watch right now in 4K. But also keep in mind, size does matter. So a lot of people cannot see a difference between 4K and 1080p on smaller screen sizes. 4K simply means that there's more pixels there. But if you're already looking at a small condensed screen, you're not going to be able to get, the benefits of having those extra pixels. It's like, there was several articles whenever Apple was coming out with this Retina and all this other thing, and people were saying, it's just mainly PR speak. You can't really see a difference with the human eye because the screen is already so small. Those extra pixels don't really mean a whole lot. So most tech sites recommend that you have at least a 55-inch TV if you're going to be looking for any sort of benefit coming from 4K. Some analysts even say that the real difference is even marginal up until 70 inches. So anyway, keep that in mind. If you're going for one of those, 30 or 40-inch TVs and buying it just because it has 4K, you may not even be able to take full advantage of that. But what a lot of companies are excited for, even more so than 4K, is this high dynamic range, HDR. And of course, it's supported by Xbox One S. And as I explained in a previous video, HDR means more colors are going to be shown. So you just have a greater range of colors that you can see on your TV. So darker areas can show up darker, lighter areas lighter. Colors just pop more and it's a lot more vivid. It's like looking out your window is what a lot of companies compare it to. So companies like Netflix and Amazon already saying that this is the next big leap forward and that they're already beginning to film content to take advantage of this. And so almost all major TV brands are rolling out with HDR TVs this year. So if you buy one, probably you'll see, HDR compatible or whatever on the TV. But not all HDR TVs can work with the Xbox One S. So even though you may have bought a TV that says it's HDR capable, that doesn't mean you're going to see any difference with the Xbox One S. And that's because there's actually two different standards that are being used. You've got Dolby Vision and you've got HDR10. HDR10 is being supported by companies like Samsung and Sony, while companies like LG and Vizio have signed on with Dolby Vision. Xbox One S has been confirmed to support HDR10. Which is what Sony and Samsung are supporting. And again, that means that if you've got a TV that only supports Dolby, then you're not going to be able to see or take advantage of the HDR technology built within the new Xbox. Dolby is a well-known brand in the entertainment industry. It's supposed to be a very good HDR standard, but they also require licensing fees, so that's probably why Microsoft decided to go with the HDR10 version, because it's an open standard. So if you like Vizio though, the good news is that they have announced that they're going to update their M and P series 4K TVs later this year to support both Dolby and HDR10. But as far as I'm aware, those updates haven't come out yet, so right now they don't have that capability as far as what I know. So if you're looking to pick up a new TV, you might want to make sure that it supports HDR10. And I mean, even if you're looking for a new TV, maybe for your PlayStation 4 Neo, if you're looking for that, they haven't announced that that's going to support HDR, but if they do, then I would imagine that it's also going to support HDR10 because, like I said, Sony TVs are supporting that standard. So I'm going to leave a link down below to a nice looking TV I found on Amazon that does support HDR10, and it's currently $400 off. So you can do that if you'd like. If you want to read more about this story, links down below, and I'll also leave some links to some HDR articles so you can read more about that as well. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.